Welcome to the channel, guys. We are back again, and today I'm going to be talking about the top 10 most worn fragrances this summer, so stay tuned for that. And if you like the content, hit that like and subscribe button. Really do appreciate it. So in the summer, I did test out a lot of different fragrances, but I also did have some in a consistent rotation. I will actually say that's kind of one of the downsides to reviewing fragrances, is sometimes I wear things just to see what they're like, to get a feel for them, and I don't always get to wear the fragrances I really want. Sometimes I'm either in the mood to wear something or whatever, and so I pick something I really want to wear. And I did have some on a regular rotation. I actually have two honorable mentions because I do like them a lot. I think they're good fragrances, but I didn't wear them that much. I'm going to start out with those. So I guess this is a list of 12. First one, Acqua di Parma Yuzu. This is a nice one. I like that it has a bitter yuzu. I wish the bitter yuzu would last longer. It is a nice note. I like that sort of bitter vibe, and it sort of turns into a nice, smooth, almost creamy and fluffy, sweet fragrance. It is a nice one. I think it's easy to wear. It's very mass appealing, and it is a good fragrance. I will definitely be wearing this one a little bit more, and I think it's something that is fairly versatile. So that is Yuzu by Acqua di Parma. Next one, Winwood by Mancera. I do actually really like this one, and as I've mentioned before, if you like D Squared He-Man Rocky Mountain, which is now discontinued as far as I understand, you might want to try this one out. It is definitely similar to that. There are differences to this fragrance as compared to He Would Rocky Mountain, but there is a lot of similarities, and that really prominent, very fresh, very uplifting, to me it's like a summer breeze, the way this violet works in the opening. It definitely has that in common with He Would Rocky Mountain, which I loved about that fragrance. This one also performs fantastically, which the D Squared didn't perform that well. This one performs way better. Really, you only need a couple sprays of this one. You can always go more because it is a fairly fresh, fairly somewhat light fragrance, so I think it's easy to wear. But anyways, those are my honorable mentions, and now I'm going to get into what I wore, and they're in a rough order of what I wore the most. I was a little surprised, but I decided to reach for this one, and I remembered that I actually kind of like it, and that is Le Parfait by Armaf. A lot of people describe this one as Green Irish Tweed meets Adventus, which personally I don't. I don't do that, and the reason I personally don't describe it that way is because it really has nothing Adventus-y except the pineapple. And to me, it's very often the case, and especially when I first started smelling fragrances, if I smelled something with pineapple in it, I would immediately think of Adventus. But this has none of the qualities that Adventus has. It has none of the birch, no musk, nothing else. It's really, to me, more of a citrusy kind of Green Irish Tweed. And what I do like about this one is that, as opposed to Très Nuit, which I find can be a little bit powdery, this one doesn't have that powderiness. And I'm not a big fan of powdery notes in a fragrance. I don't mind them, but I also don't like them. To me, they don't add anything appealing to a fragrance, and so this one I actually really enjoy. Reached for this one more than a couple times, and once I remembered I had it, I was like, you know what, this is a really good one, solid cheapie. If you like the citrus elements in Green Irish Tweed, and you want a little bit more of that, this is a nice one to try. So more citrus, has pineapple as well. Very nice, very easy to wear. Next one is a new acquisition, and that is the 2020 Parfums de Marly Sedley. This is pretty beastly for me on my skin. I mean, honestly, if I put a couple sprays on this one, it fills a room. It's actually that much better performing for me, and it does last several hours. This is one where I will easily get that 6 to 8 hour mark. Heavy sillage. It is one that I find I go a little anosmic to, but I will still get comments on it, sometimes good, sometimes not so good, about this fragrance, even after I don't regularly smell it. So I do know for a fact that it's definitely still there. This is one I personally go light on because of that, because it is very strong on me, but I could see going more on this if that's up to you. I go 2 to 3 sprays just because, and this is also one of the reasons why frankly, I probably will never buy a backup bottle because it will take me a very long time to get through this fragrance bottle as is. I'll probably have it for 5 or more years. So I guess on top of the fact that I am a bit of a light sprayer, I have a lot of fragrances, and so a backup bottle to me doesn't generally make sense. There are a few things I might buy backup bottles of one day if I heard it were to be discontinued, but as it stands, not yet. Next one is a staple for a lot of people, and that is Acqua di Gio Profumo. I do really like this one. It is one that you don't have to wear in the summer. It's pretty versatile, and actually, you know, if I had to pick one for the summer from the Acqua di Gio line, I probably would even go for Profondo, but I have Acqua di Gio Profumo already, and this is the only Acqua di Gio I'm going to own until I'm out of it, and then I might pick up a different one, or I might get something different entirely. But obviously, very good one. It has incense. I think it has a little bit of patchouli in it, making it a little bit more mature, a little bit more masculine, I guess, than the Acqua di Gio, which is already a fairly masculine fragrance. Very fresh. I get a little bit of this sort of salt water vibe, like an ocean breeze with a salty air, that I actually do really enjoy. As I mentioned in another video, didn't actually like this the first time I wore it. Really didn't like it. That saltiness just didn't work for me. But after wearing it 2-3 times, I really do enjoy this one. So that is the next one. The next one I put on this list because I did wear it a lot. It is discontinued, so obviously I wouldn't tell you to check it out unless you can find a good deal on it. But this is Spicebomb by Viktor & Rolf, Spicebomb Fresh. And I do like this one because it is basically what it says. It's a fresher version of Spicebomb. You still get a little bit of that sweetness, a little bit of those spices, but those are more in the background. And there is this nice salty, citric, watery element in the front. And so it's one that's, I definitely go more sprays on this one because it is fairly light. It isn't the best long-lasting fragrance, so I get maybe 6 hours on this one, which is not bad for a citrus, watery fragrance, but it is a nice one. I know it was discontinued, obviously, because it didn't sell that well. That is usually why things are discontinued, but I do actually really like this one. I would recommend trying it out, but of course, if somebody's going to charge you an outrageous price for this, I would say there's lots of other great options. And the next one I wore a lot was Moonlight in Heaven. This is a recent purchase for me, and actually somebody mentioned this. There is a genre interpretation of this, Luna Paradisa. And the one thing I like about that, if I recall, is that it has a more prominent rice note. And the rice note is actually my favorite part of this fragrance. What I find with the Moonlight in Heaven, the original, is that the mango is a little bit more prominent. It's a little bit more forward. And it is an excellent mango note. Very realistic, very potent. This is pretty good longevity. It's not a sage beast, so I definitely would advise spraying a little bit more of this one. And I think it's best suited more for evenings, definitely, instead of like the high heat, the middle of the day. But if you're going out on a cooler day or in the evening, this is a fantastic fragrance, especially for like a date night, because it is tropical, but it's sensual. It has this beautiful dry down, and I love that rice note a lot. So that is the next one on the list. Next one should surprise nobody, as I've talked about it a lot, and that's Terre Eau Très Fraîche. I actually have also a decant of this one that I finally finished off, and I did wear this one quite a few times. As you can see, it's starting to get a little bit of wear in there, but I do really like this one. It has that bitter orange, zesty, with a nice woody touch to it, and I find that it has none of the pepperiness that is in the other Terre d'Hermès line. But I do actually really like this one, opposed to the other Terre d'Hermès, which I don't dislike, but I don't really like either. Anyways, love this one. It's great. I think, you know, if you like that orange, but you're maybe not a big fan of Terre d'Hermès, another good alternative, and one I do want to pick up, is Allure Sport. Not the Eau Extreme, the original. It's one I definitely want to get for me because I absolutely love that zesty orange peel vibe that it has. Next, Encre Noire Sport. Still going to wear this one a bit, and I'm glad I actually didn't start reaching for this one until about halfway through the summer. So even though, you know, I didn't start wearing it until about halfway through summer, I did wear it quite a few times, and I really like this one. It has this nice aquatic vibe, has this earthy vetiver, has a little bit of darkness. I like to call it a little bit more challenging, even though I don't think it's a challenging smell. I think it's actually very easy to wear, but it's a little bit darker and it's a little bit different, and I think that's the thing about it. That's one thing I like about it. So this fragrance is different. And again, for the price point you can get this, I think I paid $25 for this. And honestly, this is a very, very high quality vetiver fragrance. So if you like vetiver and you want to check out this line, my recommendation is actually Sport. Sport is my favorite, easiest to wear, most versatile, and most enjoyable. And you really could wear this one year round, but I like how this one makes a little bit of a statement in that it is darker, it is a little bit different, and it's something that's going to stand out as opposed to, you know, the typical citrus fragrances, which I love, but it is, again, a little bit different. Top 3, and these are definitely the heavy hitters for me, the ones that I really love. And this one is actually an inspiration. This is Aquatica by Genre Parfums. So this is a clone of Creed Arolfa, which is probably my favorite marine fragrance of all time, but the problem with it is I personally get terrible performance. So I probably would never buy it because it's extremely expensive and it doesn't perform very well. If I got a really good price on it, I might consider it, but I really like Aquatica. It does a very good job of giving that really beautiful marine ocean breeze kind of vibe, and I do pick up a little bit of that saltiness, and it just smells really fantastic. Very good, and it is a compliment getter as well. It's a little bit different, even though it is very old. It manages to be still very modern. I think it's a very timeless kind of a vibe with this one. But anyways, if you like marine fragrances and you haven't tried either Aquatica or Arolfa, do yourself a favor, get a sample of it, check it out, and see what you think about it. Absolutely love this one. My favorite marine fragrance of all time. Next one is actually in some ways also an inspiration, although a little bit different. And this is just a decant, and I'm probably down to, as you can see, one more, maybe 2 more wearings on this one, probably 1 more. And that is Gorse, and it smells very similar to Virgin Island Water by Creed, another Creed. Honestly, there's probably, along with Viking, my 3 favorite Creed fragrances. You know, this one's coconut. It's a little bit, not really, but a little bit boozy, and it has that lime in it. What's interesting about this one, gorse flower is in it, not coconut. So the gorse flower does smell like coconut and gives off that coconutty impression. It does have a nice sort of creamy coconut feel to it. A little bit sweet, but not too sweet. It's just a nice, really nice fragrance. And if you do like Virgin Island Water, you don't like the price, Gorse is a great alternative. I know you can get 100 ml, I think, if you can find it in the US or North America for under $100, which I think is a great price, and it is a fantastic fragrance. Another one that I actually really like would be Hawaiian Volcano Intense by Alexandria, and it is actually sort of their own fragrance in a sense because it is modeled after Virgin Island Water, but it's a more intense version. And I find that it has this really, really amazing lime note in it that really pops, gives you this fizzy lime kind of a soda vibe. Love that one too. So if you do like Virgin Island Water, those are 2 that are worth checking out in my opinion. Gorse, I might even consider picking up a bottle next summer. We'll see how it goes. And number 1, again, probably no surprise to a lot of people. Talked about this one a lot, and that is Parfums de Marly Galloway. Now this one, I recently got this tester of it, and I have a decant, which I've almost finished as well. And I like this one because it's a little bit underrated, but it's very easy to wear, and yet it is, it's very clean. It has this nice sort of musky, clean vibe to it, and it has a really, really nice citrus and pepper as well. The citrus does actually last a pretty long time. I find the citrus in the opening pops a lot, and it sticks with the fragrance for quite a while, and then it becomes more of this sort of clean water, musky with peppery kind of vibe. This one, really long lasting, so for the kind of fragrance that it is, it lasts forever. I can easily, at times, I wear this and I'll get 12 hours on it, which is great for a fresh fragrance, and one of the reasons I like it. Very clean, very classy as well. I think, you know, if you had a formal occasion in the sun, in the summer, or something like that, in the heat, I think this is a really good choice because it's just clean, it's professional, yet it's easy to wear. You can wear it casually, but it is just such a nice, well put together, yet simple fragrance. Anyways, guys, that is my list. Leave a comment down below. What are some of the fragrances that you wore the most this summer? And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.